Boxing King Media in association with Boxer. Delighted to be with the CEO of Matchroom, Frank Smith. Frank, you okay? Did I get the title right?
You got it right. You got it right. Yeah. T-boy as well, also known as understudy.
Far from it, mate. Far from it. Saturday. What's going through your mind when Eddie's... I'm assuming Eddie's called you, or you're part of the email chain that White had a failed test. What's first thing that goes through your mind?
Do you know what? It was early hours of Saturday morning. I think it was something like 1:30. We all got the same email, and I was asleep. I was in Ibiza. I was asleep, and I woke up to a load of missed calls, and I thought, like, what has happened here? And I thought it was an injury to someone, but then went on my emails, saw that, and do you know, it's strange because we've become so used to it now, as in problems. Not like this situation, but like so many problems that you just go, oh well, like sort of straight over your head, just got to fix it. So it was, it was early hours Saturday morning that came through. I'm actually glad I was asleep because it would have just been 6 hours from first 1 a.m. in the morning all the way through to 7 a.m. with no sleep. So I couldn't have done anything anyway at that point. But as soon as everyone was up the next morning, people were in different time zones. As soon as we could all get on a call and agree the next steps and the plan, we got the news out there straight away. Saw some news that it was Friday, I got a call, load of rubbish. It was Saturday. And yeah, we got it out there as soon as we possibly could.
Dillian Whyte's statement says he wasn't aware that the fight got cancelled, and he obviously just saw it just like probably the rest of us. Was there any communication with Dillian Whyte when pulling him out?
Yeah, there was communication that went prior to the cancellation. Look, these things, everything moves very quickly, so you're doing everything at real time. So as soon as you notify them, it's like he said, you have to get it out there. We didn't want to get questioned that we were holding news back, trying to make it like we wanted to get the news out there, and we wanted to make the next steps because we couldn't have gone out and started looking for opponents. Otherwise, it would have become very obvious what the situation was. So, but he was made aware. But like I say, it was all very quick. So, it may have been that maybe he didn't see the communication or he wasn't. I don't know. But yeah, we did things as quick as we possibly could.
Eddie said quite clearly yesterday on TALKSPORT, and I'm sure you're aligned as well, that you learned a lot from the whole Conor Benn case to prepare you for this one. In terms of the relationship with Conor, I know it's different because he's contracted to you. Dillian's not contracted, but still there is a close relationship. He's worked with you guys for majority of his career. Are you going to support him and the team supporting Matchroom like you did with Conor?
We have like Eddie said, we have a very different relationship with Dillian in terms of on a personal level as well. A lot of the dealings with Dillian over the years. Eddie's dealt across the years a lot of the time, but has been with his team and his team around him. And it's all different scenarios, isn't it? At the same time, we fully backed Conor Benn, but we also let him and his legal team go through the process because that wasn't our position to do. And look, Dillian's got a battle ahead of him now, but he deserves to go through that process, just like any other athlete would. So I think we have to do that and then go from there.
We saw the complexities with the whole Conor Benn stuff. Dillian's not a licensed British boxing board control, whatever you want to call it. Does that put it in the same scenario as Benn, where it becomes more complicated because ultimately there's this kind of grey area on who covers this failed test?
Yeah, look, I think he's going to have to go through a process with VADA or with the commission he's ultimately licensed by. The detail around the whole situation we can't really go into. It's not our place to go into, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. We want a clean sport, as does everyone. I think there's improvements that can still be made across the board as to how these things are dealt with, and it's a learning process as well. But I think there's a lot of improvements that can be made. The actual detail around how it's going to be dealt with, that's not really my place to be involved in.
As I said, you guys have been experienced in this scenario, unfortunately, because of what happened last year. Andy Joshua's also experienced in this scenario because it's happened to him before, where Big Baby failed a test and Andy Ruiz jumped in. How's his mindset been? You told me how your mindset was when you got the news. What was his mindset like, and mindset is now when you got the news?
Look, he's very positive. He's trained very hard. He's been focused in the gym for 12 weeks, and I think his mindset was always to carry on fighting. He wanted to get in the ring. He's trained hard for this moment, and that was always the focus. We had to get the right fight for him. We got some big plans, as everyone knows, for the end of the year. But yeah, the key was always get me a fight, and that's what we did.
Eddie was on TalkSport yesterday. Frank Warren put a tweet out, said you blocked me from coming on. Did Eddie block him?
I don't know. I wasn't there. You have to ask Eddie. But I don't know why anyone would want to hear from Frank Warren anyway. The interview, Eddie's on there to join the show. They asked him to be on there. It's not Frank Warren's slot on the show. He went on there afterwards and went and ranted and raved. So, do it. It's not Eddie's fault that they're more interested in having Eddie Hearn on there than Frank Warren.
When you made the decision that we're going to pull Dillian Whyte, was it automatic that this is going to be a non-pay-per-view event? Because to get a credible name in with a week's notice, it's going to be difficult.
Look, it was a process that was moving very quickly. We had 40, 50 names approach us. We were going through the detail of it, all the potential of, right, this fighter wants this much money, this fighter's requested this fighter needs this. And, it wasn't straight away we said it's coming off pay-per-view. We worked with DAZN, and we have to thank DAZN as well for backing the event and supporting the event, because without them it would have been very difficult to do, or impossible to do. So we have to thank them for their support in getting it done. But it was, we moved very quickly. You think in 48, at the time of 48 hours, we got a deal in place. And on Saturday Saturday morning I thought, yeah, we'll get someone. Saturday evening I felt unlikely. Sunday felt still unlikely we were going to do it, and Monday we got it all together. Thanks to everyone who was a part of that and getting it over the line in such a short space of time.
I saw somewhere online that the Saudi delegation will be here or present on Saturday night. Sunday and Monday, do talks commence, do contracts get exchanged for this Deontay Wilder fight in January?
Yeah, look, we continuously talk. Obviously, we've been long-term partners with Skill Challenge and Prince Khalid. He's a big supporter of Anthony and has been for a long time, very close as well. So I'm very confident that talks will continue, and that's the fight we've all got complete intention of making on all sides, I'm sure.
Frank Smith, thank you for speaking to Boxing King Media. Yeah, and we'll catch up with you very soon.
No worries. Cheers, mate.